Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Alicia from alicialeadum.com, and in this video I'm going to share with you 3 tools and techniques of things that you can do to really heal your inner child. So if you stumbled across this video, if you press play on this video, that is because you are really understanding the power of really healing and working with your inner child. Maybe you've had a lot of old memories really come up a lot lately, or you've looked through some old pictures of yourself, or people have been telling you like work on your inner child, love your inner child, do some healing with that. There may be a lot of synchronicities that you might have done a quick Google search or a search on YouTube and this video came up, so you're absolutely meant to be watching this video right now. And inner child healing is really powerful because a lot of our fears, a lot of things that come up for us are really just our inner child being really afraid because of things that happened when we were growing up, when we were children. And this is of no fault to anyone else. Like, one thing you don't want to do is put blame on someone like our parents or our siblings because they were only doing the best that they could with, the wisdom and knowledge and information that they had at that time. So there's no fault. It is, what it is. And as long as we can allow it to be and really focus on our own healing through that and what we're recognizing come up, we're going to really free ourselves from it. So I have 3 things that, I personally have been doing and working on with myself that I want to pass along to you that you can do for yourself too, okay? So the first thing is doing a inner child healing guided meditation. Now there are tons and tons of guided meditations for this on YouTube that you can just do a quick search on, but it's really powerful. So do those meditations and remember that visualizing and tuning into your inner child and allowing yourself to feel and comfort him or her, and just yourself now speaking to yourself at whatever age the trauma or a memory that has been triggered has been come up for you is extremely powerful and extremely healing. One thing that you can do in addition to this, speaking to your inner child through meditation, is also to write your inner child a letter. So 31-year-old Alicia writing, 12-year-old Alicia a letter of a traumatic time or an event that happened or a memory that's still lingering, hey, this is what I would tell you, you're safe. Everything's okay. I know that you felt that this happened when you said that, and I want you to know that you did nothing wrong, and you're deeply loved, and etc. It's extremely cathartic and healing to do that. So speak to your inner child through your meditations and through the letter. That's really powerful. And I actually have my students do that through one of my programs and courses I have called the Zen Babe Chakra Cleanse. So it's extremely powerful. The second thing that you can do that I have listed down here is to really get in tune to what brought you joy when you were a child. Okay, what were you doing when you were a child that you were just so lit up that you loved doing? Someone in your family or a friend would tell you hey, when you were young, you loved to do this, right? You were always doing this. You were always playing basketball. You were always, etc. For me, I was always reading. I remember one time I went shopping with my mom and my Nana, and at the beginning of the shopping trip, they bought me this book that I wanted. It was from the American Doll series. Does anyone remember that? And I remember walking through the mall and just reading it because I was so in love with reading. And by the time we had left the mall for the day, I had finished the book. And so that just goes to show just how much my inner child, literally as a child, just loved reading. I always had my nose, in a book. And as I got older, I started to tell myself, you shouldn't read for pleasure. If you're reading, you should be reading personal development books. You should be bettering yourself. You should be learning this and learning that. And then it got to a point where I just kind of avoided reading. And I learned recently, or realized recently, how I was actually blocking my inner child and my inner happiness and my true, authentic joy to come through by not allowing myself, by giving myself this rule that I shouldn't because of these, rules that I thought someone should be or should not be doing for success, etc. So you see how if you can tune into that you can free yourself from that. So I gave myself a challenge, I guess. So I was like, okay, inner child Alicia, what do you want to do today? Like, what would you love to do? What would be the most fun thing ever? And she wanted to go to the bookstore and pick out a book just for fun. So I went and got myself a coffee, and I went to the bookstore, and I just browsed for hours, and I just completely lost myself in there, and then went home and read, and I felt so free and so joyful for something so small as you know, tuning back into that which brought me joy as a child. So think about what are the things that you really love to do, and then give yourself permission to go do that. Were you playing outside? Were you running through the jungle? You know, the jungle gym thing outside on the playground? Like, did you love to play with Legos? Like, does that mean you can build something now? It might not be necessarily Legos, but like actually creating or building something. Were you drawing? Were you painting? Were you an artist? Like, whatever it is, tune into that and give yourself full permission to go fully express that as you now, because you want to tune into, you know, childlike play more often. This is actually going to do a ton of emotional healing for you. And the other thing that's happening right now, just collectively, you know, as the vibration of the planet is elevating and rising, a lot of us are having a lot of these memories kind of come up, because it's time for us to really step into this new beginning of, you know, higher vibration and higher light, and really being our true self. And to do that, a lot of this is like old emotions kind of stemming to the surface that we need to deal with and let go and surrender and, you know, leave in the past. So you might be stumbling upon this right now because that's happening for you too. Know that you're not alone in it, and it's okay, you're gonna get through it. So the third thing that I can share with you that I really love to do is actually using aromatherapy and an essential oil. And one oil that's really, really powerful for helping you to tune into your inner child is an oil called ylang ylang. So it's a really beautiful floral oil, and it's a remedy for the heart. Okay, and you notice how like throughout this video I kept touching my heart, because our heart is where our inner child lives, and our inner child is actually our soul, and this is where our love is. So notice how like your child was just so free and like didn't think about other people or other things, and just did what felt true to who they were. That's because it was coming from your heart. And so this oil, ylang ylang, when you wear it onto your heart, put 1 or 2 drops on it daily, it's going to bring up to the surface the emotional healing that needs to happen, so that you can remember what it feels like to be that joyful, play-like, childlike state. Okay, and it might like, know that when you're using oils, pure oils, okay, use the most pure oils that you can get. When you're using them, it's actually the vibration is lifted, like the energy, the lower vibrations, the lower emotions that need to be healed that are kind of living in the body. The energy of the oil is going to bring that up to the surface, so that then you can better see it and then deal with it. Feel it really is really how you deal with it, so that you can then release it. And the scent, right? The plant is allowing your energy to kind of connect with that of childlike state. Okay. Oh yes, the last thing that I want to say is I'm looking at my notes. Like I said, ylang ylang really encourages, you know, play and getting back to like that innocence, that childlike being that yourself really is. And it helps you to then access your intuition or your heart knowing, because your inner child knows. Your inner child, she or he knows why you were sent here, what it is you're meant to do, what you love to do, and then doing more of that, because the more that you do things that you love, you're actually giving other people permission to do things that they love, which is spreading more love around the planet, which is then elevating the planet into a higher vibration and really saving the world, okay? As long as you're doing it from a place of giving and love, right? Like from pure childlike innocence. And so it can help you tap into that intuition and that inner knowing, which is extremely powerful and healing. So you guys, let me know what you think. If you are also working through, you know, some inner child healing, which of these tools or tips that you're going to try for yourself. And just remember, be patient. You know, healing is not like a linear thing. It's very not exactly what you think. It's not like you just start and you go straight up. You're gonna go up and down, and it feels like you make progress and you go back, but just continue on the path, trust the process, trust that you came upon this video and for a reason, and to be easy and gentle with yourself and just have a lot of kindness, okay? Remember why you're here. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I will see you in our next video. Namaste.